The order of operations. At this point, we know how to add, subtract, multiply, divide, and a little bit about exponents. Now we're going to learn the order in which we start solving larger problems. Why is there even an order in the first place? Let's take a look at these examples that I've written out already. Let's start with this first one. What if someone approached this 5 plus 2 times 10? What if they decided to add 5 plus 2 first? That would give us 7. Now we have to multiply it by 10. 7 times 10 is 70. If we look at this same expression, but instead we decided to multiply first, 2 times 10 is 20. Now we still have this plus 5. 5 plus 20 is 25. We have the same expression, but we've come to two different answers. So which one's right? This is why we need the order of operations. The order of operations just gives us a set of rules and an order for solving certain operations first. When we're solving problems and using the order of operations, we go through a particular order. The order is, first, we start with the parentheses or the grouping symbols. In some grouping symbols, we have parentheses, we have brackets, and then we have braces. Those all represent different types of grouping symbols. When you see these grouping symbols, we solve for those first, but if you see multiple grouping symbols in one problem, then we are going to solve the innermost grouping symbol first and work our way out. Next, we have exponents. If we see an expression with exponents, after parentheses, we go about simplifying the terms with exponents next. After that, we have multiplication and division. They're on the same level of priority. When we get to this stage in the order of operations, we start from left to right. It's whichever one comes first from left to right. Next, we have addition and subtraction. Addition and subtraction have equal priority, but they must be done in order from left to right, just like multiplication and division. That's really a lot to remember, but there's a popular saying that helps us remember the order. If we take the letter from each word, we can use it to create a sentence. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. This is known as Pemdas. You might hear GEMDAS for grouping symbols, but many times Pemdas is going to be what you hear. So this helps us remember the order in which to do operations, parentheses or grouping symbols, exponents, multiplication or division, but they must be done in order from left to right. And then addition and subtraction are the same priority, but they must be done in order from left to right. Let's take a look at some examples to see how to apply the order of operations. We have this first expression, 6 plus 2 times 9. First, I'm checking for parentheses. We don't have any. Exponents, we don't have any. Multiplication or division, that means we need to multiply these two factors first. 2 times 9 is 18. Now we're done with multiplication and division in this problem. We move to addition and subtraction. We have addition here. We're going to finish adding these two add-ins together. 6 plus 18 is 24. 24 is the result of this expression. If we move to this next problem, we see we have the same numbers and the same operations, but we notice that we have parentheses around the 6 plus 2. So that may change our answer a bit. Using the order of operations, start with parentheses and we solve parentheses first. We notice we have parentheses. We're going to add 6 plus 2 first. We're left with 8 times 9. And since there are no other operations, we can just multiply. 8 times 9 is 72. If we compare these two answers, they use the same numbers and operations, but we can see that having this grouping symbol can change our numbers significantly. Let's take a look at this expression. We have 20 times 4 divided by 5. Working our way down from Pemdas, we don't have parentheses, we don't have exponents, we have multiplication and division. They have the same priority, but we're going to solve them from left to right. We have 20 times 4, so we're going to do the multiplication first. 20 times 4 is 80, and then we have divided by 5. Since this is the last operation, we can just do 80 divided by 5. That's going to be 16. Next, we have the same numbers, the same operations, but we notice that the operations are done in different orders. Using Pemdas, we have the parentheses, we have no parentheses, no exponents, we have multiplication and division, but we're going to do whatever operation is on the left first. So starting on the left, we have 20 divided by 4. So we solve that first. 20 divided by 4 is 5. And then we just carry over the leftover operations. We have 5 times 5 is 25. In this example, we have the expression 6 times 24 divided by 12 minus 9. We're going to start with parentheses. We don't see any parentheses, so we move to exponents. No exponents. We're going to move to multiplication and division. We're going to do the operation that comes first as we move from the left to the right. So our first operation, we have 6 times 24. We can do some side work. 24 times 6. We have 144. 6 times 24 is 144. Now we're left with divided by 12 minus 9. And I'm going to show my work each step, and this is an important skill to acquire, and it just takes practice. We want to show our work for every step. Next, we have 144 divided by 12, because we're on the multiplication and division priority level, and we just multiplied, so we move to the next operation. 144 divided by 12 is 12, and then we're left with minus 9. 12 minus 9 is 3. This expression, we have 18 divided by 3 plus 7 times 4. Following the order of operations, we're looking at parentheses. We don't have any. We don't have any exponents. We're going to move to multiplication and division, moving from left to right. So we see we have division first. We're going to work on that. 18 divided by 3 is 6. And we see this 7 times 4. We can do that next. 7 times 4 is 28. But I want to keep this operation between them. We have 6 plus 28, and that gives us 34. The result is 34. In this expression, we have the quantity 6 plus 4 squared plus 8 divided by 4. I notice we have some grouping symbols, starting with our order of operations. Parentheses is first. We're going to solve the parentheses in our problems first. So let's simplify inside. 6 plus 4 is 10. It's a good habit just to keep the brackets after you simplify them, especially if you have another operation like this exponent. I'm just going to keep this as 10 squared. And then we're going to simplify this next parentheses. 8 divided by 4 is 2. And keep this operation symbol in between them. Next on the list, we have exponents. we want to solve exponents first. So we have 10 squared, which means 10 times 10, or 100. And we just carry down those steps. Now we're just left with 100 plus 2, or 102. This expression is read as 5 times the quantity 8 minus 2, and we have minus 3 squared. Starting with parentheses, let's simplify this parentheses right here. 8 minus 2 is 6. Just keep the parentheses for now. Next in the list, we have exponents. We see over here, we have this 3 squared. 3 squared is 9. We can simplify this to minus 9. And we still have 5 times 6. Next on our list is multiplication or division. We see that we have multiplication first. We can multiply 5 times 6 for 30. And we're done multiplying or dividing in this expression. We can subtract 9. Now we're left with 30 minus 9, or 21. In this example, we have 8 plus 4 times the quantity 10 minus 6, quantity squared. And we notice we have multiple sets of grouping symbols. If we remember, when using the order of operations in the parentheses or grouping symbols stage, we're going to simplify the grouping symbol all the way on the inside. So that's going to be this grouping symbol right here. So let's simplify 10 minus 6. We get 4. Keep that squared. And then I'm going to continue all the grouping symbols and just write the rest of the operations left over. We still have parentheses or grouping symbols, so we want to look at these brackets. We're going to solve inside these brackets first. We've already done the parentheses. Now we're going to move on to the exponents inside here. We're going to use that to simplify 4 squared. 4 squared is 16. And we have simplified inside of there just a little bit. Now we're going to continue working inside these brackets, and we just have 4 times 16. 4 times 16 is 64. And since we are done working within these brackets, I don't need to keep them anymore. We have 8 plus 64. 8 plus 64 is 72. And that's it for these examples.